summer of 2024. A tranquil suburban neighborhood in southeast England. The kind of location where everyday existence flows in a steady, predictable pattern until one July evening when everything changed in an instant. A desperate emergency call. A woman's voice, rushed and panicked, saying she was running out of time. Emergency teams sped to the address, not yet knowing they would soon face what would be called one of the most shocking incidents in recent memory. What happened inside that typical home? Why did this tragedy horrify the country and come to symbolize obsession and extreme cruelty? The explanation lies in a tale where intimate connections twisted into catastrophe and confidence turned into a deadly trap. The Hunt family resided in a modest community where people knew each other's names and life seemed secure. John Hunt led the household, a familiar figure in the sports broadcasting realm. His race commentary on the BBC brought energy to audiences nationwide. John was admired for his lively style, his knack for engaging listeners, and his sharp reactions to unfolding action. His wife, Carol Hunt, stayed away from public attention. Yet her efforts kept the household nurturing and steady. Carol handled the everyday details, preparing food, encouraging her daughter's interests. Her blend of warmth and strength anchored everyone around her. John and Carol raised 3 daughters. The eldest, Hannah, found her calling in beauty and wellness. She built a career in self-care that brought her satisfaction. The middle daughter, Louise, followed a separate direction. After salon experience in 2022, she pursued her love for animals by opening Groom and Blow, her own dog grooming service. Louise offered more than basic care. She studied pet first aid, earning praise from pet owners. The youngest, Amy, had started building independence away from the family home. That distance spared her from the horror ahead. Though each sister had unique interests and traits, they shared a profound affection for their parents and a tight family connection. To outsiders, the Hunts represented a thriving British household. No signs hinted their world could collapse so abruptly. Meanwhile, across in London, a contrasting story unfolded. Kyle Clifford, born in 1998, grew up in constant upheaval. Frequent moves prevented deep roots or lasting bonds, teaching him to expect disruption. School brought conflicts and behavioral issues. As a teen, his confrontational nature and emotional volatility made peers steer clear. Seeking structure, he enlisted in the British Army, but the strict environment only heightened his inner turmoil. Comrades noted his obsession with violent content, his open disdain for women, and his aggressive attitude. Even in the military's disciplined setting, he stood out for insubordination, physical altercations, and rule-breaking. His service ended quickly, and by 2022 he returned to civilian life aimless. What came next was a string of unstable attempts at normalcy. Jobs ended fast due to arguments and unpredictable conduct. He withdrew further, isolating himself in his own troubled thoughts. 2 paths, one of a loving, grounded family, the other of a young man shaped by rage and disorder, were heading for a fatal intersection. That moment would unleash devastation. Louise encountered Kyle Clifford in 2022, around the time she launched her grooming business. He was trying to rebuild after the army. Their bond started with texts and casual dates. Louise responded to his apparent curiosity about her venture. He inquired, complimented her drive, and acted attentive. The beginning felt calm. Kyle arrived punctually, replied promptly, and engaged kindly with her relatives. She saw these as indicators of growth, believing her stability could guide him. But others sensed trouble. Her relatives disliked his quick temper and warned her to proceed slowly. Carol advised watching his deeds over his promises. John stayed reserved but showed obvious concern. Friends picked up on an off-putting vibe behind his politeness. Gradually, Kyle's conduct shifted. Criticism began mildly, comments on her looks, then turned to judgments about her outfits and colleagues. Presented as care, they became controlling. Demands followed, constant location sharing, instant replies, explanations for every absence. Short family visits raised red flags. Delayed responses triggered floods of accusations. Most disturbing was his online activity. He consumed hours of material from figures promoting male dominance and harmful attitudes toward women. Afterward, he grew hostile, claiming partners should submit. Within a year, restrictions dominated. Though separate homes, his rules felt like nonstop surveillance. Those around her saw the toll. Louise socialized less, seemed anxious, and excused him by saying it soothed him. Her family offered support and pushed her to set limits. But Kyle perceived her autonomy as danger. His jealousy intensified. He accused her of flirting with clients or scrutinized social media interactions. To him, normal engagement equaled betrayal. As time passed, her independence shrank. Louise's mindset evolved. At first, she viewed his rigidity as fear, responding with patience and hoping to ease his insecurities. She overlooked harsh words, believing they masked abandonment worries. Eventually, denial became impossible. Avoiding arguments drained her. She weighed every phrase to prevent rage. Fatigue mounted despite her outward positivity. Caring for Kyle meant constant tension between helping him and self-preservation. Rare gentle moments fueled hope. But they faded, overtaken by distrust, coercion, and volatility. By late June 2024, Louise chose to leave. This came after mounting pressure, including a minor car crash into a pole that prompted reflection. On June 24, she messaged him clearly and calmly. She cited her well-being, stressed no blame, requested dignity, and encouraged self-focus. Kyle replied measuredly at first, thanking her candor, wishing harmony, affirming love. It seemed acceptance. Then came the flood. Lengthy texts and voicemails arrived. He claimed understanding, begged for chances, vowed transformation, mentioned therapy. He outlined fresh starts with action over words. When unmet, his tone darkened. We're destined. No one knows you better. Don't discard fixable love. Apologies mixed with compensation promises. Rejections sparked contradictions, affection to please to rage. He accused her of desertion. You leave me after I gave all. Dialogue vanished, monologues dominated. By week's end, blame shifted from Louise to supposed interferers, her mother, sister, friends, clients. He claimed they poisoned her against him. Her decision became conspiracy in his view. Control attempts persisted remotely. Your family meddles. They invade our matters. Boundary reminders provoked defensiveness. For Louise, this validated her choice. Responses shortened, stayed neutral, avoided rehashing. For Kyle, silence signaled escalation. Persuasion failed, now he targeted the causes. In his logic, she wasn't gone, she was stolen. Reclaiming required removing influences. This mental pivot sealed the path to violence. Early July 2024 saw Kyle shift to execution. Searches grew precise and grim, methods to kill, restrain, ideal weapons. He chose a crossbow, purchased online with bolts for over £350. Soon after, a field dressing knife under £100. Then duct tape rolls, rope coils, gasoline cans. Footage captured him deliberating spool sizes for exact needs. He added an air-powered backup weapon. Each acquisition aligned with intent. No spontaneity, pure preparation. He surveilled Carol's posts for schedules, John's BBC timings to confirm absence. Weather checks for July 9 factored in. By early July, tools, notes, and certainty aligned, women home, father away. July 9, 2024 dawned ordinary in bushy, Hertfordshire. Warm weather, commutes, dog walks, errands. No one foresaw their town hosting a massive police response. Kyle's morning looked routine: family time, garden store visit with relatives, pushing a stroller, appearing relaxed and ordinary. No outward clue. Around 1:30 p.m., he approached the Hunt Street, parked discreetly. By 1:40, he watched to verify isolation. Satisfied, he fetched his bag. He carried only Louise's returned items and a neutral card visibly, weapons hidden nearby. Intent, seemed peaceful to gain entry via Carol's compassion. Near 2 p.m., he knocked. Calm, composed. Carol answered, saw no threat. He spoke softly. She invited him in. Politeness vanished. He drew the knife, assaulted her chest, abdomen strikes, then arms, back. Defensive wounds showed resistance, but he prevailed quickly. He exited briefly for the hidden crossbow, re-entered, approached Louise in her yard grooming space. Inside, he overpowered her, duct-taped hands behind, legs bound, mouth sealed. The next hours brought torment. Beyond restraint, he inflicted deliberate suffering to assert power. Medical records later revealed extreme agony. Hannah arrived home, saw Kyle with Crossbow, understood instantly. She texted her boyfriend, "Kyle's here. Tying us up. Police needed." Her last act. Kyle prevented more. He shot bolt to chest. Fatal, though not instant. She weakened rapidly. As responders mobilized, Kyle escaped. Hannah, still alive, called emergency. Weak voice, name, address. "He's here. Crossbow. Tied up. Can't breathe. Not much time." Dispatcher prioritized, queried safety, attacker visibility, victims. Hannah managed few words, mom, sister. Call dropped repeatedly, but contact persisted. Initial units arrived on Crossbow/multiple victims report. 1 coordinated outside, 2 entered. Hannah found with chest bolt, deteriorating. Medics fought to save, others discovered 2 deceased women, 1 older with stab/defensive wounds, 1 younger bound with abuse signs. Perimeters set. Armed suspect alert, Crossbow, dangerous. Avoid confrontation. Hannah couldn't be stabilized, pronounced dead on scene. Forensics mapped, positions, struggle marks, tape/rope evidence. Blood trails, entry/exit points. Father's absence noted as intentional. Door-to-door canvas, footage requests from homes, shops, stations. Some heard screams, unaware gravity. Command reviewed video for escape path. Evening, public appeal. Surrender urged. Residents, no doors to strangers. Photo broadcasts, armed, dangerous. Vehicle sightings via cameras headed North London direction, then lost. Hundreds of tips, park sightings, fuel stations. All checked, none solid. Midnight, region tense, national attention. Overnight, route pieced. Toward family area. Morning, Clifford home searched. Notes, letters, farewells, intentions. Premeditation clear. Tip, suspect in nearby cemetery mausoleum. Area locked. Tactical perimeters, K9, medics. Loudspeaker commands, exit, hands shown. Movement seen. Warnings. He loaded, turned on self. Shot. Paramedics entered, bolt in torso, alive but critical. Spinal, bleeding. Threat over. In custody. Hospital, stabilized, but paralyzed waist down, speech impaired. Wheelchair bound permanently. Guarded. Interviews, hospital room, recorded. Rights read. He nodded, requested water, said in French, "I'm sorry, that was evil." Then, no comment to all. Motive, details, evidence, silence. Flat effect. Multiple sessions, same. Only early apology, evil remark. Trial, competent. Wheelchair, restrained. Blank expression. Guilty plea, murders of Carol, Hannah, Louise. Not guilty, prolonged abuse/cruelty charge, and rape, per records. Prosecution proved. Jury, guilty all counts, including torture/rape. Life sentences, whole life orders, no parole. Plus terms for kidnapping, weapons, violence. Judge, hatred, selfishness, exceptional brutality, calculation. 4 hunts, justice, no solace. Family, John and Amy alone. Home haunted. John off air. Amy private. Judge noted, misogyny fueled, calculated, not impulse. Court closed case that rocked nation. Photographs of Carol, Louise, Hannah faced defendant, symbols of erased family. Question lingers, what pushes rage to murder? If this case gripped you, like the video and subscribe. Crime Stories Nightly. Until next, stay alert, stay safe.